it for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
all in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. With Tony Marinaro.
55 seconds left in the penalty, a minute and 27 seconds left in regulation time. Boston 4, Montreal 3. Lafleur coming out rather gingerly on the right side. He gives it into Lemaire, back to Lafleur. Oh!
The sickest Montreal Canadiens podcast.
You're in the spot!
Sports entertainment like no other.
Rejoint, on lui fait perdre la rondelle, une passe devant. Et c'est le dégagement et ce sera la victoire des Canadiens. Stanley pour les Canadiens, le 23e de l'histoire.
You found the dogs! John, you found the dogs! He found the dogs! And all together, they worked a young team to the top. And now, a 24th Stanley Cup banner will hang from the rafters of the famous Forum in Montreal. The Canadiens win the Stanley Cup!
Brought to you by Energy Transportation Group. Driven to be different. La Vida TB. It's gonna be sick.
Marinaro, the Sick Podcast on this Thursday, May 4th. It is 1 minute past 10 o'clock. How is everyone doing today? I would imagine all over the world pretty good. I would imagine in Toronto or in the province of Ontario, ça va mal à shop, mes amis. As the Toronto Maple Leafs, much to my surprise, if I was betting tonight, I would have lost my shirt. As it stands, I didn't, and my shirt is still on. Et maintenant, c'est toi. Or I should say, et maintenant, c'est Toronto. Toronto. Qu'est-ce qui se passe? They lost again tonight to the Florida Panthers. Now, we've seen thus far in these playoffs that 2-0 series leads. It doesn't really matter. We've also seen that if one team goes on the road and wins 2 games, it doesn't mean they're going to win the series, because the Rangers did it to the Devils, and then they ended up losing that series in 7 games, of course. However, man, I wouldn't want to be Toronto right now, and I would want to be Florida, because the Florida Panthers have a 2-0 series lead. They went into Toronto, they won game 1, and they won game 2. They're going back to Florida for games 3 and 4, and there's not going to be anybody wearing Toronto Maple Leafs jerseys in the building, because, of course, the Florida Panthers have laid the smackdown, and they said that they're not selling tickets to Toronto Maple Leafs fans. They're not the first team to do this, by the way. It's made headlines, this, that, and whatever. They're not the first team to do it. But who would have thought that after the curse, the 19-year curse that was over, and it was over for Toronto last week when they got over that hump and eliminated the Tampa Bay Lightning, because it had been that long since the Leafs had a first-round win, who would have thought that that curse ended? And it looks like another one may be starting. This one might be the curse of Paul Maurice, who used to be the coach of the Toronto Marlies, got promoted to be the coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs, was there for 2 years. He missed the playoffs for both, and then he was gone. Salut la visite. It is the Sick Podcast, brought to you in part by Energy Transportation Group. The guy who has the most energy in town is me on the podcast, and the other gentlemen who have the most energy in what they do, which is transport, are my buddies Mike Cinquino, Sean Gerard, David Grassi, and their entire staff. They are a leading full-service logistics provider serving all of North America. They are driven to be different. And also brought to you in part by La Bête at TB, brewed in Quebec, a winner of a dozen international awards. La Bête at TB offers quality microbrewery beers made with premium ingredients for everyone's taste. La Bête at TB, embrace your true nature. And also brought to you by Excel Moto. You've heard me talking about them for a couple of days now. Yes, sir. Excel Moto, in my opinion, the place, the number one place for me, the only place in Montreal that you should buy your Piaggio or your Vespa scooter at 5480 Pare. And the number to call is 738-6686. Excel Moto, the premium motorcycle and scooter dealership in Montreal for over 20 years. Their dealership carries 7 different motorcycles and scooter brands. They are the number one Aprilia and Piaggio ambassadors for the last 5 years. Excel Moto, your ultimate destination and best customer service experience. My buddies Ali and Vito will definitely take care of that. All right, okay. Without further ado, do we have our guy? It doesn't look like we have him yet. Sammy and Agnello at Master Control. If you can get a hold of my buddy, Georges Larac, because I told George 10:05, and I have a feeling that George is with the pillow. I'm not sure. Let me text him again. Hold on a second. Why don't I do this? Let me call him. Let's see what he says. This is riveting stuff, by the way. Riveting stuff.
Bonjour, vous avez rejoint Georges Larac. Si vous avez laissé un message, please leave a message.
After leaving a message, you can hang up or press pound for more options.
Oui, Georges, c'est Tony Marinaro de BPM Sport, de TVA Sport et de Sick Podcast. On est live en direct maintenant sur YouTube, sur Facebook et sur Twitter. Il y a des gens ici qui t'attendent avec impatience, Georges. Il y a des milliers et des milliers de personnes qui sont en train de dire ton nom, Georges. Mais toi, tu nous as oublié, Georges. You're on your pillow smashing at 100 miles an hour. George, do what you got to do with the pillow. Get off of the pillow. Make sure you're ready to go for the Sick Podcast and join us. We're ready. Sammy and Yellow are waiting for you in the green room. George, join us right now. All right, okay. Bye, George. Bye. Enjoy your pillow. All right, okay. I tried calling him, and who knows? Maybe we might get Marc Andre Perreault. George is he probably either fell asleep or he had too much tofu tonight. It's this vegan diet that he's following. It makes him tired, and either that or his 8-day fast or whatever it is. What can I tell you? It is what it is. We have no shortage of things to talk about. Hey, by the way, remember the other day that I told you? By the way, you can feel the energy, right? Feel the energy. Look at that. All right, okay. Remember the other day I told you that the National Hockey League was contemplating maybe even changing the NHL draft lottery, which had been set in stone, whatever. So we do know that it's going to be, it was announced a couple of nights ago. I think I said it yesterday, as a matter of fact. But the NHL draft lottery will indeed be on Monday night, and it's going to start at 8 p.m. Eastern. So I got an email today from the Montreal Canadiens letting me know, not the only one, every member of the media received it, obviously, that Montreal Canadiens general manager Kent Hughes at the end of the draft lottery will be available to members of the media via Zoom call. So, so Kent Hughes is going to talk to us on Monday night. He's going to talk to everyone. He's going to answer questions. And we have something special in store for you on Monday night. Obviously, we do. It's a Sick Podcast. It's pretty sick, man. Let me take my sip. I've been told that Mapper might actually be coming on a little bit earlier. The original plan, and I had texted the gentleman earlier this afternoon was George Larac on at 10 p.m. and Mapper to join me at 10:30. But if Mapper joins me at 10 o'clock instead, and George Larac joins me at 10:30, there's no difference really. But George likes to go to bed a little bit early. He's an early riser. He goes to bed early and he wakes up early. So he usually goes to bed maximum at about 10:30, and he wakes up at like 4:30 in the morning, and then he goes for a jog. So he says, but that's the story. But I would imagine with the Seattle Kraken on versus the Dallas Stars, that George is going to be watching playoff hockey because, of course, he brings you Le Monde de Georges at BPM Sports Radio, and that is weekdays at 11 a.m. and ends at 1:30 p.m., along with Max Truman of Dans les Coulisses. All right? Okay. So I want to talk about Kent Hughes. I want to talk about Patrick Roy. That's going to come up today. I want to talk about Arthur Staple from The Athletic, who had a little bit of a breaking news for us. And we knew that something was wrong and in New York, and it looks like there was something that was wrong. He talks about something that we'll get to. I was going to talk to George about the Edmonton Oilers because I watched them play last night, and the way they were playing and the way they were using their players, I mean, they're not going to go nowhere like that. Forget about it. They're not going nowhere like that. If they're going to do that, forget about it. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. All right. Okay. All right. Let me try and get that straight. All right. Connor McDavid. Have you seen the images of him limping and stuff like that? And I think it was who was it? There was somebody that actually put up an image. I think it was Ryan Rishaug who actually put up an image, a video image of Connor McDavid, give or take about a week ago, and it looked like he was nursing his left knee. Now, others have weighed in saying that they've seen Connor McDavid actually nursing that knee before, prior to that, or and then maybe he was just stretching it or whatever. But Connor McDavid doesn't look right, even though he's got like 12 points thus far in the playoffs or whatever he has. There's just something wrong. I want to talk to you about a couple of Montreal Canadiens prospects, some whose playoffs are over and some whose playoffs are still ongoing, be it in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League or be it in the Ontario Hockey League. We'll discuss all of that. Pretty soon, we're going to bring in Marc Andre Perreault, because I've been told that he is what we call in our green room, where we just make sure that everything's okay, everything's working well and stuff like that. So he's going to join us any second. To you, my sick army. Oh, there are you. There you are, all of you in big numbers tonight on YouTube Live, on Facebook Live, and on Twitter Live. Todd Stewart says, let's win the lottery. The Habs says, Patrick Roy, what? Well, you'll find out just a second about Patrick Roy, what? La, 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 la. I can't hear you about Roy. All right, okay. We will get to Patrick Roy. Tony, we're going to see Hudson at the Worlds. Yes, we are going to see Hudson at the Worlds. Chris Bergeron says, get the hats out. Yeah, I'm sporting the sick cap tonight. Look at that. The sick cap. Nice, huh? Pretty nice. I like it, as a matter of fact. I think the sick apparel is actually pretty sick. Sportbuffshop.com, by the way. You can check out some of our apparel there, and you can acquire our apparel. Logan Mailloux says Kook is on fire. Yes, he has 15 points in 13 games, by the way. We are going to get to him. Chris Bergeron says the Oilers are in trouble. I think so. But Ryan Baker says the Oilers aren't in trouble yet. No, I think they are. I think they could be in trouble. Ryan says sick merchandise. Yes, sick merchandise instead, for sure. Yes. And Michael says, does Jean-Charles Lajoie like the cannolis that you brought him? Yeah, I brought him some cannolis today. He's actually... he's been watching what he eats over the last couple of weeks, and I took a pretty big lead on him, and he's been really fighting back. So I got to give him a lot of credit because he's been losing a lot of weight lately. And I indulged a little bit today, and I'm going to indulge a little bit more tomorrow. And anyway, for what it's worth, there's a method to the madness. All right, so the program that I'm following is basically pretty much every 45 days or so, sometimes a little bit less. Anyway, at one point there for a couple of days in a row, you eat, and you eat a lot. As a matter of fact, you eat 6 times a day at an average of 833 calories each time. It's about 5,000 calories. And then basically, I would imagine it gives a little bit of a shock to the body. And then you go back to eating according to the plan. And then you're supposed to drop the weight. So anyway, it's that week for me. So I'm going to do that over the next couple of days. And then, and I'm confident it's going to work. It worked before. I'm sure it's going to work again. Tony, I got off the phone with George. He's watching television. No, he's not. No, he's not. George, unless there's a very, very good I can tell you that there's got to be a really good reason why George didn't join us tonight, because or else he would. We have our guy anyway. He was supposed to join us at 10:30. He's joining us at 10:14 from TVA Sport. Marc Andre Perreault. Comment ça va?
Ça va bien, toi, mon chum?
Where are you? At Bureau en Gros or what?
Vegas. Vegas in my hotel room, because I'm a good boy.
You're in Vegas.
Yes, Vegas. But I did the thing. What's wrong? Do you hear me?
Just throw it in the garbage. Don't worry about it. He threw it in the garbage for real.
Yeah, it's.
No, I don't hear you that good. Yeah, you're probably better off getting it. Yeah. I was kidding when I said throw it in the garbage, by the way.
Well, I mean, I'm listening, right? So you can hear me now, right?
Yeah, but don't bend forward like that, because your head cuts off. I can't even see you. Now I can see. If you go a little bit more back, that's it. Now I can see you. You see?
Okay. So
Thank God he was in the green room before. They were supposed to fix all this stuff. Hey, listen.
I did things correctly because I'm away from the strip.
Yeah.
And I'm away from the noise. I mean, the first round was such a grind, and I'm already tired. So I just wanted to.
The first round was such a grind. Hold on. The first round, you were covering Boston, Florida.
Well, Boston, Florida, but then I ended up doing Game 5 in Raleigh. Then just Florida, Raleigh, Boston, and New Jersey, like 4 nights in a row. So that was a grind, and seven games.
Those are nice cities, though. Those are nice cities.
I mean, it's nice cities, but stop saying it's nice cities and you have time to visit. I do not have time to visit. I like literally in my hotel room, working to get ready for the game, going to practice.
Yeah.
If I'm lucky, back for like a power nap or just getting my stuff ready. If I'm lucky enough to go to the gym, but then it's work and go to bed at midnight.
Yeah.
And then you have a flight at 6:00. So guess what? You have to be up by 3:30, 4. So yeah, I'm not complaining. It's
no. I understand.
You do me some good.
No. Listen, I understand. It does get a little bit tired. Travel tires people out. It's does.
The worst.
For some, it's travel. For George, it's his pillow.
I guess, but funny thing is, like, seriously, nobody can understand, and I'm not complaining, it's just a fact. Nobody can understand the weight of traveling, and just go for work. Like it is. So anyways, yeah. I sound like I'm complaining, but I'm having fun.
You know what? It's cool that you bring it up, and I'm going to tell you why. Because often we talk about these professional athletes and they make so much money in this and that and whatever, and all they got to do is they got to play a game for a living. The travel can wear on you. Now hold on a second. They charter, all right, and they have a good situation, so they travel a lot better than you and I would travel. Okay, but it does take its toll. But
I mean, still, it's a lot of traveling, lots of getting hit, being intense.
Yeah.
Then you travel. You are in your hotel room at 3:30, and then the next morning you have to go, for breakfast at 8.
Yeah.
And then after you have to go to the rink for practice. And it's a crazy life. Yes, they make good money. They're young. They're top shape, but it's tough on the system. So, just look at a hockey player. A 35 years old hockey player looks like he's 45. Like, seriously, take a look at the face of hockey players. They look older. Look at Shea Weber. He's younger than me. He looks, I think he looks older. So anyways, Aaron Ekblad, he looks like a 40-year-old guy.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, half their face is usually covered in stitches. C'est pas agréable non plus, but I agree with you. I find they look older than me too. Like I'm 15 going on 25.
But you look great.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let me ask you this, because the big debate right now, before we get to the playoffs, and the big debate right now on YouTube Live is what is that piece of furniture behind you?
Oh, it's my how do you say that? When I'm ironing my
No, not the ironing board. No, I'm not talking about that. That
board.
No, that wooden piece of furniture that's attached to the wall.
Well, it's just a little kitchenette. You see that kitchenette?
Oh, it's a kitchenette. Okay, because some people thought it was a bookshelf. And actually, I think I see it here. Is that a microwave on top or something like that?
Yeah, I can't even read my name, so don't think I'm gonna. Yeah, it's a microwave.
It's a microwave. Okay, it's a kitchenette. One person thought it was a bookshelf. Someone else thought it was like a closet or something. It's actually a kitchenette. Okay, all right. Yeah. Okay, pretty cool. Hey, look, I have to tell you, I give you a lot of credit because you're in Vegas. Okay, what time is it there right now?
It's 7:20.
It's 7:20. All right. 10:20 here.
Yeah.
And you're on the podcast with me. All right?
Yeah.
If I would be in Vegas and it was 7:20 p.m.,
I know.
I'm not sure I'd be on a podcast.
I'm boring. I'm telling you. I'm
really,
boring.
Eh? No, I'm far from boring.
I don't go out.
No,
I just, I watch hockey. I watch Toronto, Florida.
Yeah.
I went to the gym. I'm boring.
And mostly too at the gym now. You would have to hang out on a road trip with me because I'd have you swinging from the chandeliers, my friend.
You know what? I had my times.
Oh, really, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Good for you. And you retired from those times or what?
I retired, and I'm no look back.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, I retired too when I got married, and now it's like 21 years. I'm living a slow death. But anyway,
Yeah,
that's another story for another day. All right, okay. Listen,
Yeah. Okay.
Kent Hughes is going to be talking after the draft lottery on Monday. So now the tankathons are going to start. They are going to start. They're going to start. They're going to start. And we're going to look forward to it because he's going to be talking to members of the media. Are you going to be back? Where are you going to be now next week? Are you still going to be?
I will not. Next
You
week,
will not.
Edmonton or Vegas.
Okay.
And then
All right.
after that, so I'm following the winner
Okay.
of this series.
Okay. So speaking of that series, and we'll go to it for a second here. Edmonton versus Vegas. I saw the Oilers play last night.
Yeah.
They're going nowhere in this series if this is the best that they have.
It was
for
the
Vegas.
worst.
Because
It was the worst.
Mapper, they're relying on 3 forwards and 4.5 defensemen. Kulak is half a defenseman, and the fifth and they played 7D yesterday. They played 7D and 11 forwards, and 2.5 D
10.
didn't play.
10 forward because Marc got hurt pretty
Correct.
quickly. But
yes.
when you say 3 forwards, who's the third?
Hyman, yes. Well, he played, I think, 21 when the other guys played 24 or something.
He had 2 points. And let's start with this. I'm a huge fan of Zach Hyman. Huge fan. I think he's a great player. He's a great person. By the way, he writes book for kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. He writes books for kids. And he used to own a esport team. So yeah, kind of, that type of guy.
That's cool.
But
he sounds like a pretty cool guy.
Oh, he is. He's a very nice person, very genuine.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I'm a fan. Last night had 2 points. I didn't think he played a good game. I didn't see him as intense, involved as he can be.
Okay.
According to me, and I agree with me.
Mm-hmm.
It was a one-man show last night.
Okay.
Leon Draisaitl. Okay, McDavid played well. He has his capacity of just going so fast and going between the 2Ds and try to create chaos between these 2Ds. But lots of turnovers. Body language, didn't like it. So to me, it was a one-man show. But man, what a show was it! One of the best single performance I've seen in my life.
You mean from what? From Leon?
Yeah, Draisaitl. And I mean, I had the chance to be right in the corner when he scored that first goal, the one-timer. The way he plays along the boards, and it was so beautiful.
Yeah.
Poetry on ice. But the problem is that it was a one-man show, maybe 1.5. Let's add Connor because Connor is Connor. And I asked the question to Vinny Desharnais, the French-speaking defenseman, and I didn't ask him like that, but the other guys, aren't you man, we have to step up to give them a chance to win. Can you imagine the frustration deep down of Draisaitl and McDavid?
But there's a problem though. There's a problem. I'm going to tell you what it is. Okay. Everyone loves watching McDavid and Draisaitl play, and everyone loves watching them when they play together. And I understand the temptation to want to use them together. But when they're not on the ice, they're an easy team to play against.
That's the problem. Because, again, you have Hyman, you have Nugent-Hopkins, you have Ekholm, you have... It shouldn't be like that because you have a good depth in that team. So I don't know if the fact that they are so good, the other guys are sleeping or they're soft or whatever, but this is a good hockey team. And I'm scratching my head since last night. I can't understand why it happened. But just let's be clear, it was their first regular time lost since March 11th or something like that. So it's not, it was a bad game, but it's not like they're in a slump.
But I think they've lost. I think I read somewhere they've lost their last 5 or 6 game ones of series.
7.
But,
I think it's 7.
Okay, but I'm going to tell you something though. McDavid doesn't look right to me. And I understand the game is a lot tighter now than it was in the regular season. He's got all kinds of players over him, and they're stifling him, and they're trying to suffocate him. And I understand that he still looks pretty good. I mean, he looks better than 80% of the players that are playing in the playoffs anyway. But there's something going on, and maybe it's just me because I saw that image that Ryan Rishaug put up of him, laboring in his left knee. But he doesn't look right to me.
I asked my cameraman to stay on him for like a long time in the third period.
Oh, really?
I saw nothing. And
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So even at the end of the game, like after the horn, I was on him, didn't see nothing, and he was so fast. I don't think it's an issue. Maybe it is. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe it's because of something he's how do you say that in piqûre?
Yeah.
Before the game, but treatments.
A cortisone shot or something?
I don't know. I'm just saying maybe that's the reason why it didn't look. I mean, I couldn't see anything. So
I find that of all the teams that are left in the playoffs, all 8 of them, I find that of all the players that are left playing in the playoffs, McDavid is the one. And it's maybe because he's has the most pressure on him or Austin Matthews. But I find that McDavid is the one player that is trying to win his team the game, that feels like he has to win the game for his team. It feels like he's going out there and he's trying to decide the game. And you know what? Maybe he does, because we just talked about it. They're a 2.5 player forward team, and they're a 4.5 defenseman team. And maybe he does. It just seems like he's trying to beat, he tried to beat LA pretty much by himself. They were able to get over it, and Draisaitl was pretty good as well, and doing the same here. And anyway.
Yeah, but when he's on the ice, it works. Like, he goes around like half of his zone, defensive zone, and then he takes his speed and he arrives, like he crosses the red line, center ice so fast, and then it's always the same. Like there are like 2, 3, or 4 guys who are like trying to trap him.
Yeah,
but he's just too fast. So 2 times out of 3, he comes out with the puck and having a good chance. So no wonder he's trying to do everything, because he can do everything. So
yeah, I hear you. But I love Connor McDavid. How can't you love Connor McDavid? He's the best player in the world, right? But Draisaitl is, and I understand Draisaitl is a big benefactor of some of the passes that he's getting from McDavid too, and Draisaitl can't do it without McDavid. But I think Connor McDavid he's in 4th gear. I think he's going to have to put it in 5th gear, because Draisaitl's in 5th gear right now. And I think Connor's in 4th. And I think Connor's going to have to put it in 5th. Anyway, you talked about Vincent Desharnais before. Great guy. Great Jack.
Oh,
that's a bad mistake last night. That one hurt. Ça fait mal, ça.
Ben oui, mais it's going to happen. Like, Vincent Desharnais, and no disrespect here, but he's like a 6D, maybe 5, but let's be honest, he's a 6D, and that's perfect. You're a 6D in the NHL with the Edmonton Oilers. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna happen, but he brings so much more. He plays big minutes on the PK. He's a big presence. It's gonna happen. So I have no problem with the fact that he did that mistake, and that's fine. Everybody can live with that. He had some, what was it? He ended up with, I think it's like something like 3 minutes on the PK.
So what do you have? The iPad going too, or what? What's the story here?
Yeah.
You got Mr.
So Vincent Desharnais, he played.
He's got the iPad. He's got the AirPods. He's got everything Apple.
it's easier for a dummy like me. So yeah, he played 2 minutes shorthanded, which is which is very decent. So only one guy played more minutes on the PK, and it's Darnell Nurse. So
well, he's Vincent Desharnais is like 6'1,000. He's the perfect player to put on the PK in the playoffs.
Of course,
you saw, he's a little bit of Hal Gill there. Michel Bergeron once said, "Gill, he blocked the nasty." Yeah.
Oh no, so I don't have no problem with the Vincent's game last night, and it's gonna happen. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody, in the NHL, like normally, a goal, it's because of a mistake. It's a game of mistakes. So it's just that it happened that it was Vincent. But.
The way we've been saying in these playoffs that Matthew Tkachuk is for real, like he's a gamer, he leaves it all on the line. Mark Stone yesterday too. Mark Stone
was good. I used to work in Ottawa when he was there. I still can't believe the Sens didn't do anything to keep him. He's such a clutch player, such a leader.
How long were you in Ottawa?
4 years.
4 years. Did you enjoy
4
it?
years. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I like Ottawa very much. I have to tell you.
It was fun. It was fun. Yeah. I mean, I had a blast. My daughter is still there, and I still have a house there.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mark Stone was a beast. But I think back in the days, the problem with the Sens
I like Gatineau too. I like Gatineau.
Of course, that's where I live.
That's where you live.
Yeah.
Did you bump into Jose?
I did not.
Jose Levesque, that is watching us on YouTube right now. She's living in Gatineau.
Hello, Jose. I didn't know that.
And Mosey too now with the Hello Jose. Listen to me. Here he is. Hello, Jose. I opened the door and Amy walks right through it with the Hello, Jose. Patrick Roy. I'm going everywhere tonight. Okay, today I'm going in all different directions.
Okay, right? So we're done about Mark Stone, right?
No, talk to me about Mark Stone.
No, I just wanted to say that back in the days, I think the problem is that the Sens didn't want to pay bonuses.
Yeah,
like signing bonuses, and they lost like a fair amount of player because of that, and I think that's the case with Mark Stone. I think so. Yeah, I mean today he should be the captain of the Senators right now. But anyways,
they were cheaping out. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate when companies are like that.
You have names?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. But be good to your employees. You know what I mean? Pay them what they're worth.
I'm with you. If you make money, it's like hockey players. People saying that they make too much money. Okay, can you imagine the person on top of the pyramid, how much money he makes because of these guys? So,
Yeah, no, I understand that. Patrick Roy.
Patrick Roy, yeah.
Okay, because speaking of Gatineau, his Remparts du Québec just eliminated les Olympiques de Gatineau of Louis Robitaille's team. 4 straight, my friend.
4 straight, but let's
zing, zing.
Let's put things in perspective. Like first game, okay, Gatineau played like crap. Game 2, overtime. Game 3, overtime. Last night, Gatineau scored like after I think it was 9 seconds, and after that, so it was like a sweep.
Yes,
but it was not a one-sided series. Like
you can really tell that you're a Gatineau boy now. Now you're coming up with no. Let's put things in perspective.
No.
All of a sudden, you became a philosopher. Let's put
things
in perspective.
Hold on a second.
The Canadiens won a Stanley Cup winning 10 games in overtime.
The Remparts were the best team on the ice. Okay?
Yes,
let's like the best team won.
That's where the game is played on the ice. Yes,
but it was closer than in 4. That's what I'm saying.
No, I understand that.
Anybody who watched or listened to the games knows what I'm saying. But again, like kudos to the Remparts and to the Remparts and Patrick Roy. They deserve to win.
Yeah.
But
all right.
I mean, it's a tough blow for Gatineau. Like
but yes. But now we're gonna have a real good discussion here. Okay, it's gonna start now. Là, on va commencer à parler. Okay.
Okay.
Patrick Roy. 8 years as a coach with the Quebec Ramparts.
Yeah.
Gets the promotion to the National Hockey League and ends up coaching the Colorado Avalanche for 3 years. His first year was a season of like over 50 wins or whatever it was. It was unbelievable.
Jack Adams.
Jack Adams, best coach in the league, everything. Away Parla. Then after that, a little bit less. Then after that, a little bit less. 3 years later, all depending on how you want to look at it, some will say that he walked away. Some will say that he walked away because he was going to be gone. Some will say
something happened.
It was a mutual agreement. Based on what we hear, which is hearsay, okay? We hear that he wanted a little bit more power in terms of some of the decisions within the organization. And Joe Sakic basically said, you're the coach, I'm the GM, you do your job, I'll do my job. And he didn't like it. And, he chose to move on. After that, 3 more years with the Quebec Ramparts. The coaching that he's doing this year, he's probably never done before at the junior level. I believe he did win a Memorial Cup, though, at one point, I think, right? He won a Memorial Cup, I think.
In Moncton, wasn't it? I think it was in Moncton.
When it was played in Moncton, you mean?
Yeah.
Il a gagné la Coupe Memorial. Il n'y avait pas Radulov dans son équipe?
Exactly.
Did he have Radulov on his team when he won the Memorial Cup?
Yeah. 2006.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Was Angelo Esposito on that team too? This guy's pulling out the iPad.
2006.
He uses this iPad though. Look at him.
I
only use it when I go in my spa. I take it, I put it in a basket so it doesn't get wet, and I play my playlist. I have my songs.
2006, yeah. First year of Angelo Esposito, Radulov. Vlasic was there.
Yes.
Brent Aubin, who played for the Huskies, I think.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So you know where I'm going with this now?
No, I do not.
Okay. Is Patrick Roy going to coach in the National Hockey League? Because at one point it looked like he was going to walk away from Les Remparts at the end of this season. It seemed like he was going to pass the torch on to his assistant, Simon Gagné. And now we're hearing Patrick saying, you know what? If Simon doesn't want the job next year, there's still a chance I could be back. Patrick, of course, is in his 50s. Coaches don't usually come back to the National Hockey League in their 60s. You just get the feeling that if it doesn't happen now for Patrick coming back in the National Hockey League, you just get the feeling that it won't happen. All right. So I always thought it would take a special kind of relationship with the GM. It almost, I get the feeling that if Patrick doesn't have a special relationship, and you wonder how much more special it can be than the relationship he had with Joe Sakic. They were former teammates. They won a Stanley Cup together. But, you get the feeling you'd have to have some power. It almost have to be a 50-50 situation, which is hard to think a GM and a coach would be 50-50. I mean, I don't know how they can pull this off, but do you see Patrick getting back in the National Hockey League? And
you never know. You saw Daryl Sutter coming back, like everybody thought it was over. So you never know.
But can Patrick be the type of coach that it would take to have success in the National Hockey League nowadays? You get the feeling that the days of Mike Keenan, once upon a time, they're over. You get the feeling that John Tortorella is not effective as he used to be. And clearly we saw that Daryl Sutter and his methods are nowhere near as effective as they used to be when he won 2 Stanley Cups with the Los Angeles Kings. Would Patrick be that guy, or would Patrick reinvent himself and end up being a modern-day coach, in your opinion?
I think I'm sure that he's a modern-day coach because he coached like kids for how many years now. So I have no doubt about it.
Yeah, but he coached kids because he's got no other choice to coach kids. It's a kids league. But once you get to the National Hockey League, you're going to have veterans.
But what I'm saying is that you grow up, you mature, you learn. So, it goes with the society. And I
don't know about that. I never matured. I'm 50 going on.
But you're just like 22. You're a lost cause. So it's not the same. But
I'll take that as a compliment.
Look at Benoit Groulx. He learned, he changed, and he's a hell of a coach. So everybody learns, everybody change, and I think Patrick Roy did.
With the Syracuse Crunch, Benoit.
Exactly. He's the best.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe this guy. He is a hockey genius.
And
He's not in the NHL.
Yeah.
I just...
Yeah. You have a lot of
it
respect
blows
for
my
him.
mind.
He's a good coach. He's a good coach, for sure.
He's a hockey genius.
But I'll take it. Listen, you know where he's going to get his shot in the National Hockey League. You want to know where he's going to get it?
I hope so.
You want to know where he's going to get it? No, I think he's going to get it in Tampa after John Cooper.
Well, it's his best chance.
Well, that's
for sure.
That's the way it's supposed to work, right? But I mean,
of course,
Cooper's not going to be there forever. Cooper's a heck of a coach,
no.
but
but if Barry Trotz left after 100 years, like everybody's gonna leave at one point. So, but for Benoit Groulx, I know he has a strong relationship with Julien Brisebois.
Yeah.
And the organization. So you are right when you're saying that. I mean, I'm gonna go further. I think it's not his best shot; it's his only shot.
Yeah,
and I hate to say that because he's such a great coach.
You're probably right. It's a hard league to get into, and we also know that. You know what? You get in when you know people, and you really need your people to push for you. And if you don't have your people, chances are you're not going to. But that's the way the world goes around. I mean, let's be honest here. But Julien Brisebois gives opportunities to Quebecers.
Exactly.
And we know that. And of course, Matthew Darche got his opportunity. And take a look at, Matthew Darche got his opportunity also as a player in Tampa, but
Yannick Gourde
got an opportunity. Bade Boulet got an opportunity. Charles Hudon got an opportunity. Did he not at one point? He
did. Yeah.
So and I have a feeling that Benoit Groulx is going to get the opportunity as well. All right. So Patrick Roy, I want to get back to him.
Yep.
I brought something up earlier this evening on TVA Sport. Okay. If Patrick Roy were to get an opportunity, let's just say this summer, you know where I want to see him go?
Calgary.
The Big Apple, my friend.
Oh.
The Big Apple. You want to know why? Because even if it wouldn't be a success, it would be a success. The Big Apple was the Rangers once upon a time were coached by Le Petit Tigre, Michel Bergeron. The Rangers once upon a time, they were coached by another personality, John Tortorella. Could you imagine the Rangers being coached by Patrick Roy, the New York Post, Larry Brooks, Patrick Roy? No. It would be so good for the National Hockey League, my friend. It would be amazing. And that rivalry of New York with the Islanders and with the Devils, the Rangers with the Islanders, the Rangers with the Devils. I have a feeling that it would be unreal for the National Hockey League. It would be unreal. Michel Bergeron said he'd like to see him get a job in Ottawa. He thought he could be a good fit in Ottawa because the Senators have a young team. I'd like to see him get a veteran team with some youth, by the way, a team like the New York Rangers. I want to talk to you about, speaking of the Rangers, did you see what Arthur Staple reported?
I did not.
So Arthur Staple, for the longest time, was covering the New York Islanders. Yeah, he was covering the New York Islanders for Newsday. Remember? For Newsday? And he moved over to The Athletic, and he's the reporter for The Athletic covering the New York Rangers.
Okay.
Well, Arthur reported that there was a huge argument between general manager Chris Drury and head coach Gérard Galland at the end of Game 4. We know the Rangers won the first 2 games in Jersey, and then they lost games 3 and games 4. Arthur Staple reports that there was a huge argument between the two. Now, Gallant talked yesterday, which leads you to believe that he's going to be back, because historically in New York, if the coach talks, it's because he's going to be back. And if he doesn't talk, it's because they're going to get rid of him. So you would think that he's going to be back, but supposedly between him and Drury, ça va pas bien. No?
I know Drury likes to control things. And I don't know if you remember, but at the start of this year, or was it last year, my colleague Jean-François Chaumont went to New York. Yeah, he went to New York, asked to speak with Alexis Lafrenière.
Okay.
Wanted to do a paper on him.
Okay.
And so the PR it was such a pain in the ass to get to speak to Alexis Lafrenière. But then at the end of the day, the PR said, well, you have to answer your question in English. So Chaumont is like, Chaumont is such a nice guy and he doesn't want to argue, so he asked like 2 or 3 questions to Alexis Lafrenière in English.
Wow.
Can you imagine how awkward it was? And found out that it's because Chris Drury listens to every interviews. So he wanted to listen to Alexis Lafrenière speaking to Jean-François Chaumont. So to me, it gives me an idea of a man who wants to control everything. And I'm not saying that like not saying it's a bad thing, or not saying it's he shouldn't do that. I'm not there. I don't care, but that's a fact. So Gérard Galland doesn't take bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And he's a tough guy, and I love him. So can it be a possibility that I don't know, but when I heard that story, I said, okay, that's it could be a problem down the road. So maybe that happened. Maybe it's all good. So some people can have arguments and shake hands. It's all good. Now they lost. They didn't expect to lose. I was there game 5 in New Jersey. The Rangers didn't touch the puck at all. So they underachieved. That's for sure. They underachieved. Now what's next? I don't know, but I can easily think of a big argument between Galland and Drury, and I hope that story gave you
No, I understand. Yeah, no, I got it. So I'll ask.
And by the way, they had to apologize. Like the Rangers, the league was not happy with that, and they had to apologize. Yeah.
Oh, really? Eh?
I mean, of course they did. Okay. Round 1, I'm covering obviously.
So Jean-François did what? He complained after?
I mean, of course he complained.
Yeah.
And then the day after, the PR went to say I'm sorry and blah blah blah. But
yeah,
first round I was covering Panthers and the Bruins, and I can't say enough good things about these two organizations. How much they respected the French. Well, I was pretty much the only media covering every game. I was the only media covering every game. And when Patrice Bergeron came back, game 5, he's game time decision. He skates in the morning, and every TV station, like every broadcast, they ask for arrivals interview. Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously ESPN gets the first choice because they it's US and money.
Yeah.
Sportsnet gets the second pick, and we got the third pick.
Okay.
Well, guess what? We had Patrice Bergeron in French for his return. Okay, and it's not the first time that they do that. After when they got eliminated, Jim Montgomery did his post game. After that, came with me, 3 questions, 1-on-1 in French. Same thing with Patrice Bergeron. Same thing with the Panthers, the Anthony Duclair. Anyway, just to tell you that for the league, it's very important. So what the Rangers did, it's not going to happen again. And I just wanted, to pump the tires of
for the league, it's very important. But in the meantime, we're getting screwed around of a team in Quebec City that there should have been one already 10 years ago.
I will not disagree with you on that.
C'est triste, là. I mean, they have a building. Listen, they have a building. They have an arena in Quebec. Like the fan base is starving for that team to go back. I mean,
don't start me on that, okay? Because I'm gonna get mad.
We all want to go back because we want to visit the Dagobert too. Like it's
does it exist? Does it still exist?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. We'll reopen it. we'll reopen.
There's one thing that I can't understand. Okay.
Yeah.
When you always think about money, making more money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes you tend to forget to take care of your people that you have. You know, you're always trying to get more people, more. But what about the people here? I mean, people, they want a team in Quebec City. But now, okay, we already have them. You know, they're already hockey fans, NHL fans. So let's try to find more fans. But what about these guys? So, anyways, I'm in love with Quebec City. It's not a secret.
Yeah, I'm in love with Quebec City too, by the way. And by the way, Le Dagobad is still open.
Oh, well,
oh, yeah. You can check it out.
It was not my spot, though.
Le plus gros nightclub à Québec depuis plus de 40 ans.
Yeah, but that was more of a university, the pub.
Yeah.
Yeah, just having my big picture. And,
I enjoyed the Dagobad. I remember I told la belle Manon, I said, Manon, j'ai bien être avec toi. Avec moi, c'est pas pour la vie. C'est pour la nuit.
Oh.
You like that
Did
one?
It work? It worked? I know. I know you're a beauty. I mean, you make us look bad. I couldn't do that. Oh, 1-0 Dallas.
Oh, 1-0 Dallas. I just saw it too. We saw it at the same time. Yeah,
so
saw it at the same time.
So, anyways, I'm mad that there's no team in Quebec City.
Yeah, so am I.
When Vegas arrived in the league, I mean, it was so obvious. You would have 32 teams. You have a team that's, you're gonna have fans. It's gonna be healthy, but you just want more. Always more. We're like that as human beings.
Let's a few more minutes here. I'm loving this conversation. You're so easy to chat. By the way, you are a good conversation. If I was
say it again.
If I was single, I'm telling you, we could have a good conversation. But some of the Canadiens prospects, Joshua Roy is Phoenix de Sherbrooke. They lead the Mooseheads d'Halifax 2-1. They have a chance to go up against Patrick Roy's Rempart de Québec.
Is it over now tonight?
In 11 games, I didn't see it unless in 11 games.
But I think it was the 4th game tonight.
He has 11 goals and 12 assists.
He's good.
Hey, good. He's got 11 goals in 11 games.
Oh, I mean, it's great, but I learned.
Can Joshua Roy make the Canadiens next season?
Hold on, isn't it? No. Oh, it's 2-2 now. Series tied 2-2.
2-2.
2-2.
Okay. Yeah. They lost 4-2.
So
4-2. They lost.
5-2. 5-2.
5-2. Oh, okay.
Yeah. 5-2. It was today. So it's not over.
Riley Kidney.
Joshua Roy, 12 goal now.
12 goals. Wow.
Yeah. And you're going to forgive me to not be excited, okay? Forgive me. And Joshua Roy is a great kid, and I know, he improved so much, but I learned to not be overwhelmed or overexcited with points in junior hockey. So I love it. I'm happy for him, but I'm not gonna get overexcited about it.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry.
I understand. Kid can score, man. You know what? I don't dismiss that. That's one quality.
No.
In any sport, if you can score, that's the hardest thing to do. And there's.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying I'm trying to stay cool about it.
I'm going to mention someone else. You ready?
Go ahead.
London Knights versus the Sarnia Sting. Series tied at 2. Game 5 goes tomorrow night. Logan Mailloux, 13 games played, 15 points.
To me, he is the most exciting prospect in the Canadiens pipeline. I mean,
most exciting.
Yep. I mean, the one that I'm most excited about.
Oh, the one you're most excited about. Okay. Well, hold on a second. There's a difference between the most exciting and the one you're most excited about.
Okay. Well, okay.
For you, is it the same thing?
No. I mean, obviously, Leinartson, like a rookie camp. I was what? It was not even rookie camp. It was like the observation camp or whatever they call it in English. But he has skills. But to me, Logan Mailloux, I can see him being like a stud in the NHL. He's got everything: size, knows how to use his body, his shot, his speed. He is a good hockey player. Like, he is good. So to me, he could end up being like the bestie.
Hey, how many defensemen do you know score Michigan goals? That he's got hands that are unbelievable.
He's good. He's got confidence, and despite everything, I'm not putting him as a victim. So I'm hoping I'm using the right wording.
Yeah.
Everything he's been through, because you know, is it the right wording? It's such a touchy subject.
No,
he's not. But mentally, you have to.
Yes.
You have to have a certain strength to recognize your mistake, because he did a mistake. We 100%. All agree on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it shows a maturity after that, after the facts, owning, you know, mental strength, because everybody, like, the world was against him. He was such a bad person. He did a mistake. Like, we agree on that. But to me, the way he dealt with it, he did. Comment tu dis ça? He did
Tu peux le dire en français. Vas-y, dis-le en français.
Des séminaires, là,
he did seminars. He went through a rehabilitation process.
Exactly.
He rehabilitated himself.
Speaks a lot. If everybody who makes big mistakes would rehabilitate like him, I think we would live in a better society. But anyways, that being said,
look, after it could have set him back a lot, and it could have said, you know what, like I
could have been over.
It could have been over for some players. Yeah, I got to tell you, my uncle Alberto. I get like a text message from him. I've received probably in the last year. I probably received about 3 text messages from him about Logan Mailloux, and he tells me this guy will be the number 1 defenseman on the Canadiens. Albert is a big fan of the Boston Bruins, but he really believes that Logan Mailloux is the real deal, and he's going to be the number 1 defenseman for the Canadiens for many years. He believes that.
So.
He believes that. Yeah.
I think so. It's going to be like him, let's say, with Caden Gooley, or maybe Leinartson down the road. We don't know. But he is good. He is a good hockey player.
Albert usually has a good eye for these things, right? He watched France play a couple of years ago, and he gave me a call, and he said, watch out for this kid who plays for France. I said, oh, yeah, who are you talking about? He said, his name is Mopape. I said, you mean Mbappe? He goes, yeah, that's the guy. But I mean, with Mailloux, he got his name right, at least. Okay.
Well, great minds think alike.
Okay, listen. So right now it is 8 p.m. in Vegas, correct?
In a few seconds, yes.
All right. Do me a favor.
No, I'm not going out.
Do me a favor. Listen to me. Listen to me carefully. I'm going to give you some advice. This coming from the advice expert. This is free advice, by the way, okay?
Okay.
As someone older than you, right? You only live once.
Oh,
get out.
Did I live?
Never mind. Live again. Listen to me. Go out. Unwind. Just relax. Take in the sights, the beautiful scenery. Go talk to some people. Just enjoy yourself, man. You're in Vegas. You know what I mean? You're in Vegas. Like everyone in Montreal wishes they were you right now, being in Vegas, and you want to stay in that hotel room by yourself with a desk that looks like it comes from Bureau en Gros, your iPad, your AirPods, a kitchenette behind you that looks like a bookshelf, a microwave that looks like it's way too high, that unless you're Too Tall Jones, you can't even touch it. Just leave the room, and that's it. Hey, I got to show you something.
Everybody would do that, but nobody works tomorrow on TV. I love it.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what you should do?
Yeah.
That logo with
Yeah.
the colors, it's awesome. You should do like hats with that, t-shirts with that.
With the fluorescent colors, basically.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the name, it's catchy, it's simple. I love it. Like, do it.
Yeah. No. I
Like
hear you.
a trucker cap with screen and, foam in the front. Just do it.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Hey, listen, thank you so much. You joined me a little bit earlier than usual. You know how much I appreciate your time. Merci beaucoup. You were fantastic as usual. Thank you very much. All right, there you have it.
Thanks, my friend.
Marc Andre Perreault from TVA Sport, living it up in his hotel room. George Larac was supposed to join us earlier tonight, but unfortunately he didn't. If you enjoyed the podcast, tell your friends about it. Like it, share it on social media, and comment SICK, 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 SICK. And if you're going to listen via Google, Apple, or Spotify, leave us a 5-star review. It's our way of feeling the love. The Dallas Stars right now have a 2-0 lead versus the Seattle Kraken. And it looks like the guy who just made it 2-0 is, former Montreal Canadian, Evgeny Dadonov with the wraparound goal for Dadonov. All right, okay. For Agnello and Sammy at Master Control, seeing as George couldn't join us tonight, I'm going to finish it off with a pillow. For Agnello and Sammy at Master Control, their Cavallaro. I'm Marinaro. Back tomorrow night. I'm filling in for Matt O'Han. I'll be in for the next 3 Fridays. Same time, same place, 10 p.m. Eastern. It's sick.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Tony Marinaro on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts. The Sick Podcast is brought to you by Energy Transportation Group. Driven to be different. La Vida TB. Embrace your true nature.